everyone, welcome to another motovlog on my channel. My name is Marshall3498. Today's motovlog, what I'd like to talk about is how's my overall experience been with now having this FJR Yamaha for 3 years now. And do I have any doubts, regrets, negatives, anything like that? And the answer to that is no. The bike is fantastic. It is super comfortable. It's fast, we'll say. It's fast, it's comfortable. It has, cruise, all that kind of stuff, fantastic lighting. That's my biggest thing about this bike. If those of you who do any, especially commuting on your bikes like I do, in the mornings on my commute, I start early, 6:30, 7 o'clock at my job, and so it's completely dark no matter, except for in the middle of the summer where I live at in East Tennessee. And the lighting on this bike is where it's all LED headlights, tail lights, turn signals, all that, especially the headlights. The headlights are so bright. I often get flashed by a lot of cars meeting them, especially on a back road like this on the way to work, that like my high beams are on. I'm like, no, they're just that bright. On high beam, this bike is just about as bright as turning on like a small light bar on a regular vehicle. It is pretty incredible as far as the lights. And yes, the lean sensitive LEDs, cornering lights, we would call it, where mine is the ES model, it does have them, and they do work extremely well. They're a little weird to get used to at first when the bike first leans over, first few times at night. It really lines up that ditch line on the inside of the road very well, and even goes, say, like 6 or 7 feet into the ditch line or off the shoulder of the road. And it does help in rural areas. I live in East Tennessee, in a fairly rural area, but not too bad. So it does help on my commute. I can see stuff, road debris, that kind of stuff, and it just makes seeing not a problem, or being seen, that's for sure. These lights kind of have a white, bluish color, like the newer super expensive cars, or not even the new cars, but those of you who know anything about vehicles know what I'm talking about. The LED headlights that are on cars, these are just as bright as a car, except the beam isn't quite as wide. It doesn't throw quite as far, but pretty close. My car I have, which is a 2015 Subaru, doesn't have LED lights or halogen, just regular incandescent. And I have to say, these lights on it, especially because of the color and the way the throw is, are 87% as bright as that, regardless of color compared, so to speak. So, but I put several 200-mile plus days on back roads. 6-7 hour days, never touching an interstate, maybe just a 4-lane, and the bike has been superb. I rode it one time as a trip computer on this right side here, where it has all these different settings you can go through. Every time you cut the key on, like a newer car, it starts a timer. And I rode the bike that day on a back road like this, flowing 35, 55 miles an hour for over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 30 minutes. And my knees or my hips didn't really hurt till I went to go put my feet down at the gas pump when I was almost at the end of that ride. And then I realized, my almost mid-40 knees hurt just slightly, but after just a couple of minutes of walking around, rode the bike 30 minutes home from there, and it was just fine. So pleased about that. I don't have any complaints about it. The only complaint I have is maybe the switch gear is a little clunky and a little weird to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's not bad. It would be nice if it was backlit for nighttime, but once you ride the bike, you just about have muscle memory. What is this car doing? They're all on my side of the road and looking over that way at the house. It's like, really? Pay attention. Anyways. But, other than that, not being backlit and the switchgear being a little weird to get used to, bikes, it's been a fantastic motorcycle. It far exceeds my rider capability at it, as far as what the bike's capable of versus what I'm not. So, I have seen and watched a YouTube video called Two Wheel Obsession. Brian, his YouTube channel, he has lots of tutorials on the Yamaha FJR as far as maintenance stuff. Really goes into great detail, even pulling this rear swing arm out and checking bearings and rebushing it. So I'll put a link to his channel below if those of you who are decent at-home mechanics like I am and want to tackle that kind of stuff. There's tons of stuff on his channel about FJRs, from battery removal to taking the fairings off and all that stuff. Fantastic channel, especially for Yamaha FJR research for doing maintenance, mainly fluid changes, even spark plugs, stuff like that. Tons of stuff, and it's just a really great channel to check out. He has several trip videos on his channel, riding his FJR to the back of the Dragon and stuff like that, and really a good commentator as well as far as the motovlog side goes. So that is a FJR enthusiast channel, I guess I could recommend to any of y'all out there who like your FJRs like I do. So on that, guys, if you have any questions or comments, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Put them down below. And on that, guys, ride safe and have fun. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.